Hello guys, it's Rachel. What's up? Welcome back. Hope you're all having a great day and that your summer is going well. And today we are making some ice cream sandwich soaps. These look so realistic to me. I came down here to film this intro and outro and I saw this plate of cookies and I was low-key excited because I thought that somebody had made cookies, and then I realized, one, that was me, and two, it was soap. Not saying that I don't like making soap, because obviously I love making soap. I do also like cookies a lot, but that is all to say, these are super realistic looking. Overall, I think it's a really fun project for the summertime. These are inspired by my personal favorite ice cream sandwiches. My number one go-to is always the Toll House chocolate chip cookie. This isn't sponsored by them, although I wouldn't complain if like a truckload of chocolate chip cookies arrived at my door. But as a kid, I loved those. Every time we saw like an ice cream truck or an ice cream cart, I would always get the Toll House ones because you're basically getting 2 chocolate chip cookies and vanilla ice cream. Coincidentally, I also had at one point 4 cavities at once when I was a kid, so I wonder why. But anyway, that's just the inspiration for our ice cream sandwiches today, and I hope you guys enjoy. And if you also love ice cream sandwiches or kawaii things or soap or keeping your hands clean, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on those notifications as well. And without further ado, let's hop right into it. First of all, you're going to need some chocolate chip cookies, and as we all know, homemade is always the best option. So that is what I did today. Yep. Anyways though, now we want to make a mold of our cookies. I'm going to be using this amazing mold putty. It's really cool stuff. You can get it from the craft store and it comes in 2 parts. You got a yellow part and a white part, and you mix them together. You do want to mix reasonably fast because it'll start to set up on you, and then you're going to flatten that out a little bit on your plate or your work surface, and then just press your chocolate chip cookie right into the mold putty. And then once your mold is finished, just let that sit for about 20 minutes and let it harden up. And in the meantime, we can make our chocolate chip cookie kind of batter. I'm going to be using some cocoa butter today. This works really well for soap. It'll moisturize your hands and it smells so good too. It doesn't smell like chocolate per se. It's kind of like almondy, and I think I'm going to start using it as lotion now because it smells so good. I normally smell like a Japanese cherry blossom, but now I might just smell like a straight up almond. Anyways though, you're going to take your cocoa butter and just scoop a little bit of it into a separate bowl, and then add in about 1/4 teaspoon of cocoa powder, and then just mix that through. Now our cookie mold should be all ready to go, so I'm just going to pop that out, and you can see this works out really well. It captures all those fine bumpy details. And just a side note, the mold putty does make food safe molds, so I'm assuming that you could eat the cookie afterwards, because I know you're probably all thinking about that now. I know I definitely was. So I went ahead and took a bite of the cookie, and if this video goes up in a week or so, then I survived. That was my little science experiment. I'd be a really great scientist. I'd probably have a very short-lived career. But anyways though, that is our cookie mold all ready to go. And then to make the chocolate chips, I'm just gonna take some of our cocoa butter mixture and just use a toothpick and kind of dab that on the inside of the mold. And then once you finish that, just pop that into the fridge while you work on the soap base. So for this, I just have some melt and pour soap. You can get this at the craft store or on Amazon too. And I'm just gonna chop that into some smaller pieces and then place those in a microwave safe jug. Then you're just going to microwave that at 30-second intervals just until it's nice and smooth. And then once you've got that melted down, add in a few drops of yellow food color along with just a little bit of orange food color too, and give that all a stir. Once you've got a nice cookie color, you're just going to pour that into your cookie mold. You don't want the soap to be so hot that it melts the chocolate chips, but of course it should still be like liquid. I got a little paranoid, so mine was kind of in between, but it's okay. I just melted the soap down a touch more and it was totally fine. To pop any air bubbles on the surface, spray them with a little bit of rubbing alcohol and then let them set completely. And then once they've set, just gently remove them from the mold. These look super tasty as they are, but they kind of look to me like Cookie Monster animated cookies, and I wanted something a little more realistic looking, so I just dusted them with a little bit of cinnamon. This not only makes them smell amazing and like a bakery, but it also gives them that beautiful kind of baked look, so I think it's worth the extra step. And for a little twist on the original, you can also do a funfetti chocolate chip cookie. This is super simple. You're just gonna add in a few rainbow sprinkles on the surface, and then just pour over your soap base, let them set completely, pop them out of the mold, and then dust them with a little bit of cinnamon, and you have funfetti chocolate chip cookies. And now moving on to the chocolate ice cream sandwich. For this one, it's a similar process. You're gonna melt down your melt and pour soap, and then to color it brown, I'm gonna be using cocoa powder. This makes it smell just like a chocolate cookie, and it's amazing. Quick tip though, just melt down a little bit of the soap base first, and then add the cocoa powder to that, and then add in the rest of the soap. I made the mistake of just going for it the first time, and it got really clumpy, cookie. It looked like some kind of weird cookies and cream chocolate ice cream, but kind of in a like not appetizing way, or like dirt or granite or something. Basically, it didn't look like a cookie. So do incorporate the cocoa powder into just a small portion of the soap base first. And then once you've got that all melted down and ready to go, you're gonna pour this into your mold. And for this, I'm gonna be using the lid of a cookie tin. I found this works perfectly. The soap doesn't stick to it and it's nice and flat. And it's kind of symbolic because you're making cookies with a cookie tin. Just an added bonus, I guess. But you're just gonna pour that into your cookie tin. I filled it up about halfway. That's gonna be about half an inch or so. Depends how thick you want your soap, but just let that set completely. Then once that's nice and hard, you're just gonna cut out your soap. I'm using a flower cookie cutter today, along with a scalloped square cutter, and that'll get you some cute little wafers. And then since I didn't have a rectangle cookie cutter, I kind of just faked one by cutting out a small portion off the edge. And now we have a rectangle wafer. And you also might notice, if you're very observant, that I did cut the flower ones smaller as well, just so the overall sizes matched more equally. For a little bit of texture on the cookies, I'm gonna take a ball of foil and just use that to texture the surface. Soap set's relatively soft, so this is really simple. And then for that signature wafer cookie look, I took the back end of a toothpick and just made some holes. And now that our cookies are all ready to go, we can make the ice cream filling. This is like dead simple. You're just gonna pour some white soap base into the cookie tin, let it set, and then this one I was able to just pop out of the cookie tin and then cut out some circles and also a few rectangles. To put it all together, I'm first going to score the rectangles and the circles just so everything has a more grippy surface to adhere to. Then I'm gonna take some more melted white soap base as kind of like a glue and then scoop this onto the surface of the ice cream, lay on a cookie wafer, and press that down to let it set. Repeat for all of your different cookies and make a whole bunch of different sandwiches. And then the final step is to add on the kawaii faces. For this, I'm using a little bit more of the cocoa butter, and I'm piping on a smile, 2 eyes, and then I used 2 confetti sprinkles for the cheeks. Using some more of the chocolate chip cocoa butter, I also piped on some smiles onto the chocolate chip cookies as well. Again, 2 dots for the eyes, a smile, some confetti sprinkles for the cheeks, and then some white confetti sprinkles for the pupils. And now our ice cream sandwich soaps are finished. These look so realistic, minus the kawaii faces, I guess. And because we use the cinnamon and the scenting and cocoa powder, these smell amazing too. They smell just like ice cream sandwiches. Overall, I think this is such a fun project. It's easy, it's fun for the summertime, and it'll help you keep your hands nice and clean too. And now that our soaps are finished up, let's hop into the outro. All right guys, our soaps are finished now. These look so good and so tasty too, and I hope you guys enjoy. And if you did like this video, make sure you tap that subscribe button if you haven't already, and then turn on those notifications as well so you get a little ding whenever I post a video, unless your phone's on silent, but anyways. You can also follow me on social media at Kawaiisweetworld. My last video is right down there, and the blog post is up there. All right, well, take care guys. Love you all so much, and I'll see you all back here very soon. Bye guys.